So I've been playing a ton of Libram Paladin here recently, and I am kind of in love with the archetype. If you have been playing Standard for a while, you have probably ran into a handful of Paladins, mostly Lynessa and hand buff Paladins, but I think Libram Paladin is also a very viable archetype for the class. If you have not encountered Libram Paladin so far, what it does is it leans on the buffed Interstellar Starslicer in order to discount our Librams down to zero or very close to zero. And the way that we find Starslicer reliably is through Instrument Tech. Instrument Tech is a 2 mana 1/2 that draws us a weapon, and the only weapon that we play is, of course, the Starslicer. So the Librams that we play, there are 6 of them in total. We will run 2 Libram of Clarity to find our more impactful minions. Libram of Divinity acts as our game ender and our mid-range buffing of minions tool. And the card that I think makes Libram Paladin somewhat viable is Libram of Faith. Libram of Faith, I would say, is the most powerful of the 3 Librams because what it does, for 6 mana, you summon 3/3/3 Draenei with Divine Shield. And if this costs 0, you give them Rush. This almost never costs 0. Usually you're casting it for 4 mana off of a equipped and broken Starslicer, but for 4 mana, making a 9/9 worth of stats with 3 Divine Shields coming with it is incredibly powerful. The other 2 cards that I want to highlight is the 2 legendaries that you would need to craft for this deck, and that would be Sunsapper Lynessa. Unfortunately, for my budget gamers out there, Sunsapper is absolutely necessary, and I actually recommend that you do craft Sunsapper if you are interested in playing Paladin, because Sunsapper Lynessa is an absolute powerhouse. It's likely one of the best legendaries in the game right now, and if you are a Paladin enjoyer, Lynessa is a must craft. The next that I want to cover is the Sandcastle with Rush. Sanc'Azel. Is that actually how you pronounce that name? That's just dawned on me that his name is actually Sandcastle. Anyway, Sandcastle is the second legendary that you may need to craft. He's not super necessary. I'm not really sure how you replace him, to be honest, because he is quite powerful. The benefit of Sandcastle is he does not rotate out in Standard in a few months because he is from the Perils in Paradise set, just like Lynessa is. So if you are committed to playing Paladin, I think Lynessa and Sandcastle are absolutely must crafts, and they will definitely pull their weight in the future with if Paladin is viable in the future. Anyway, that is pretty much Libram Paladin. If you enjoy decks like this or Hearthstone content in general, please consider subscribing. And while you're down there, you might as well throw in a like. It does help these videos out a lot. And if you do take Libram Paladin for a spin, please let me know how it does for you. Really curious how this package from the Great Dark Beyond fares for you guys as well. But that's pretty much all I got. Hope you enjoy the games. Little paladin mirror. Can't imagine they're also on Librams. They're probably just on Lynessa dedicated combo. This might be a full keep, honestly. Going turn 4 Libram of Faith is pretty strong. Always keep Starslicer. Turn 1 plays nice. Hopefully we pick up a turn 2. Perfect. Might not be getting the spell burst value out of that, but that's fine. That is plenty fine for a... Okay, it is a hand buff paladin, because paladin has all of the decks at its disposal. I think paladin currently has 3 meta decks. Yep, they are hand buff through and through. So I'm going to go with a Starslicer. And I think, because they're going to coin weapon next turn, So I want to leave my taunt up so I can get the spell burst value out of my Draenei right here. So I think I'll go trade here, take the one from their mech, deal one upstairs. Also, they're about to lifesteal a bunch, so I don't think that extra bit of damage was crucial. Imagine this is a coin weapon. Yep. Yep. So my board is going to be absolutely massive going into next turn. So let's just swing with our weapon, get a nice discount on our Librams, create a huge board, and draw another Libram. Perfect.
Job's done.
So we're hoping to find our other weapon. We could also use the minion that draws a weapon. Dealt with that fella. So we do have our Sandcastle to clean up a minion, potentially. We also have a lot of card draw to find our Weaponsmith. Wind Fury. Yeah, let's see what we can find off of this. So we do need to deal with their 7/7 Wind Fury. Just depends on how we want to do it. I think priority number one is finding the weapon. So I'm going to be pretty aggressive with these Librams. Perfect. That's exactly what I want to see. A weapon tutor as well as a taunt. That will clear all my divine shields, unfortunately, but necessary. So their whole turn's going to be attacking into my divine shield. They probably have a Tigress Plushy of their own. So next turn's looking like a bunch more 3/3s to go along with our weapon discount. Conveniently a 4/3 that our weapon can clearly clean up. Or cleanly clean up. Pressure and life totals isn't super important in this matchup, honestly, because of Tigress Plushy. So their hand is very thoroughly buffed, but two of their minions that were buffed were deployed a little early to apply some pressure to me. Priority number one for me right now is getting these down to 0. Okay. So we're probably going to have to deal with their 8/9. No surprise there. So we will deal with their 4/3. And then deal with their 8/9 with our 3/3s. And then deploy another trio of 3/3s with Divine Shield. So next turn we get to get our Libram of Divinities down to 0, which is amazing, especially with Sandcastle, Tigress Plushy in hand. So we can try to out-buff our hand buff Paladin opponent. So we've done a pretty decent job of dealing with their early buffed minions. I love to see both of the outfit tailors out of their hand. Looks like they're going to give me another 4/3 to smack into. So Tigress Plushy is going to represent 9 health for us next turn. Alright, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, that's incredibly good. Okay. So that stinks. You hate to see that. But we can at the same time deal with it fairly easily. Yeah. Can we deal with it fairly easily? I think we can. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we are going to rush these fellas in. As well as get a weapon swing in. And we are going to, I think we're just going to shove 9 damage. If they have their Titan, that's very unfortunate, but I think we can still win even if they have their Titan. If they do not have their Titan, this is probably just game, I assume. They could also have... Yep. It's the Titan. So we need to sink 8 into it. Probably deal with the plushies over that one. If I was them. Is there any way I can... might be able to find lethal here. Cool. My opponent did not make me show him it. Very clean victory from Libram Paladin. Got a very good draw, to be honest. Not seen a Hunter in a while. Hunter was everywhere once Discover Hunter made a splash at Worlds. But has kind of died down a little bit. Interstellar Researcher, very good. Don't think I need to, and Keeper Strength is very much a late game card. Salesman, love to see it. Can deal with an early Discover guy. And Instrument Tech, I think, is the best card in our deck because it finds the other best card in our deck. The Slicer. Slither Spear. Perfect. Gonna preemptively bump into there. We'll likely want to Slicer into something else as well. Leaving a Slither Spear on the board is just a huge no-no, so I will avoid doing that. Also, if they go double banana, I can still clear it with my minions. Cool. Just forging. Just forging their secrets. And we will go with a Slicer. So we're likely going to see the secrets come down this turn. One from hand, actually. Okay. And then coining out the Titan Forged. Makes sense. So they'll likely be wanting to deal... I don't imagine they went with explosives. Unless they really hate my 1-2. Okay, they hate my 1-2. Which is like, you know, it's hurtful, but I get it. And we will not want to spend the rest of our mana this turn, so they don't get a free 3-drop. Bargain bin, okay. And we'll end the turn there. So next turn we're looking at a pretty easy Researcher. Good old Misha. We will Researcher.
I cannot read them.
And also get out the satellite. Wayfinder is actually really good because we're getting another Draenei, and the Draenei that we want is the Libram one. And we might as well draw 2 minions, because we've already checked for Rat Trap there. And do we want to spend the mana and give them that free minion? Okay, fine. Fine, they can have the free minion. And I will hit into their Misha, because my weapon does need to break eventually. Not the best 3 mana minion they could get, but I'm sure they're doing just fine. Oh, you hate to see that. So it's 2 Hunter Secrets, 3 Hunter Secrets. What are the odds it's bait and switch?
You read them.
Oh, it's freezing. That's fantastic. Okay. In that case, we'll punch into it. And we'll check for the Ice Trap. Well, it's not Ice Trap, that's good. Go with a Divinity. If it's a Rat Trap, that's really awkward. But we can also deal with it pretty easily. Yeah, it's Rat Trap. Okay. Oh well, and if this is explosives, I have egg on my face. Yep. Egg is thoroughly on my face. Another observer. That's fine. That is fine. And the cheese. Let's go for a Libram of Faith. That will get ice trapped. And then we will... Is it worth it to Libram to potentially trigger Rat Trap again? I don't think so. So let's just deal with their board and continue with our lives. It was bait and switch. Okay, well, don't I look like a fool? So our Divine Shield guy will have Reborn and Taunt. Pretty strong keywords. Cheese produced some not so stellar ones, honestly. And Huffer will deal with our 4 or our 6/4. And they're giving their egg a bunch of bananas.
Punch it.
If that is explosive, playing Libram of Divinity would save it, but if that is Ice Trap, that stops Libram of Divinity from coming back to my hand. Unless I play this first, then I'm fine. Okay. And it was Ice Trap. So now I can play this. Get this up and running again. Deal 7 to their head. And honestly, I'm not really sure how they deal with all these 3/3s. So let's just play some 3/3s. We also have a pretty sturdy taunt in the way. And I'm feeling pretty healthy at 20 life. A lot needs to go wrong in order for me to not win this game. Okay, it's close. It was close. High rolling on this guy with the taunt was very important. Nice.
Versus Uther.
Fellow Paladin. First one was hand buff. Let's see what flavor of Paladin we got on the other side. I think this hand is all cash money. So I'm going to hit that confirm button. Yeah. Even on the coin with all these 2-drops. Oh. A keychain. So I think for the deer keychain, I am going to throw out an instrument tech to get our 2-drops rolling. Also contests the keychain fairly well. Okay. An unexpected choice with the Mad Bomber, but you know, you gotta respect it. Silverwing can contest the bomber pretty well. We'll end the turn. Starslicer can intercept most plays next turn. I don't think Keychain is played in most most Paladin decks, frankly. So I am very curious what my opponent's up to over there. Let's go with a Starslicer. Go into their 1/1 just in case they have a random buff hanging out. Next turn might just be equipping another Starslicer Salesman. Could even play the thing we get off of good old Ho Silverwing. Disrespectful, for one. But that's okay. We got another one. We got another one. Don't worry about it. And we will go ahead and swing into their disgusting Viper. And deploy a nice 3-2 while we're at it. So this might be like Highlander Paladin? Excavate Highlander Paladin? Definitely a brew. We're definitely dealing with a bit of a brewer over there. Let's go ahead and hit them in their head and do a nice clean Holy Cowboy Libram of Faith. Give them rush. And swing for 3. And phenomenal ordering by not playing this first, but always punished, I should say. Hit him with a greetings. We didn't need that 6 damage. If you think about it, we didn't even need it. Because things and stuff. Wouldn't have been bad to have that 6 damage. So if they are playing the Finley that cares about excavating, that turns all things into 1/1s, that is a bit of a bummer, but they've only excavated once, so they would need Finley and excavate card. The beam. Yep. Pretty unfortunate. And we will deal almost lethal damage. Well, at least represent lethal damage, potentially. And present a nice, sticky minion to carry some Librams of Divinities, if necessary. So it turns out that 6 damage that I missed was relevant. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta play some pretty mediocre plays to keep everybody on their toes. So if they allow me to start my turn with Lynessa, I will have about 500,000 Librams of Divinities. So the absolute dream is we draw Leeroy on this turn.
Can you feel the gift of the sun?
And I do not want to buff up Righteous Protector, just in case they have a way to steal it. So let's go with another Researcher. And this can actually find my Leeroy. Let me just check my hand real quick. Yeah, we have enough space. Perfect. Not Leeroy. Ooh, not Leeroy. Oh, right, it cast twice. We're firing all cylinders over here. That's fine. So we can play 2 or just 1 Libram? Okay. I believe just the 1 Libram in order for Lynessa not to overdraw us. I don't think I need many more than 5 Librams of Divinities. So I feel pretty confident with that. Again, leaving the Leeroy line up to us. Very clean game of Libram Paladin being played by this guy over here. This guy in this general direction. So as hard as we tried to throw that game, Libram Paladin would not have it. Nice. Nice.